Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So, quick and easy one today. I wanted to just go through my favorite YouTube sports card channels. I'd be asking for you also to let me know what your favorites are. What did I miss? Before I get into that, though, I just got this off of eBay. I think I paid $9. This is a 1961 Red Sox yearbook. Now, Yaz, of course, as you can see, my rookie Yaz here, or one of them. His rookie card's 1960, but he actually debuted in 1961. So this is what I would consider his rookie yearbook, and I'm going to send it off to him at some point when I can find a Yaz signing and get this autographed. My goal is to have a really unique, extensive Carl Yastrzemski memorabilia autograph collection eventually. And I have like 5 really cool things I'm going to send off to him to get autographed at some point in the near future. All right, let's talk sports card YouTubers. I'm going to break this up into entertainers and collectors. And that's not to say that the collectors aren't entertaining, and that's also not to say that the entertainers aren't collectors. There goes my cat. So, let's talk, I guess, a little bit more about why I'm doing this. On Thursday, Mike Moynihan and I released on Bench Clear Media a Hobby Think Tank episode where we asked, are these YouTube influencers good or bad for the hobby? And it got a ton of reaction, which is good. I think that there was a lot in there. I would go back and watch that. We talked exclusively, first of all, are they influencers, and are they good or bad for the hobby? So this is not that. This is just who are my favorites and why. So I'm going to start with the entertainers, the people that aren't necessarily collectors, or they're not showing cards, but I find them entertaining in various ways. So first of all, Sports Card Dad, Dustin. I've literally watched hundreds of his episodes. He does very consumable content, like 8 minutes each. I honestly don't think I've ever watched any of his long form videos, his interviews, or anything like that. I have a hard time getting into long videos. I don't have the time for it. So nothing against Dustin and his longer videos, but I watch most of his like 6 to 10 minute videos. He moves them along quickly, and they're usually pretty relevant topics to things I'm at least interested in knowing about, if not into myself. So Sports Card Dad, he also seems like a really nice guy. So, I've communicated with him a little bit privately. Seems like a nice guy. I like his style. We're the same age. I think I'm a year or two older than he is. And yes, I do watch Sports Card Radio. I probably watch about a quarter of their videos. I do not watch any of their live streams because they're just too long. But I find them, like I said in that video Thursday, wildly entertaining. I might not agree with them, but it also doesn't really matter. I like their videos. They're entertaining. So yeah, I enjoy it. And by the way, I'm going to tag these channels down below. A lot of these are semi-obscure, you may not have heard of before. Obviously not the first 2 I've mentioned, but down in the collectors, you'll see some obscure collector video or YouTube channels. I'll tag them all in the description so you can go and find them. And if you're interested, you can subscribe too. Next, I have baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Chris Sewell is kind of entertainer, educational, and collector. I'm putting him here at the top because he is my second favorite YouTube channel. I find most of his videos very entertaining. I probably watch half of his videos. I don't watch a lot of the regular rollers and high rollers, but yeah, very good stuff from Chris. Then Pac-Man. I watch most of his basketball card break videos, and they're not breaks in the sense that we're familiar with there. I think he's breaking them mostly for himself. And he has a different channel, Pac-Man Breaks. I don't do that one. But the Pac-Man channel, I watch a lot of his basketball. He does a lot of high-end stuff. He does a lot of stuff that I would love to get into myself. It's just too expensive. My kids are making all kinds of noise. They're going out together. And then Chasing Cardboard, my number 1 channel that I love to watch. It is, it's everything. It's entertaining. It's educational. It's fun. Chasing Cardboard, number 1 for sure. Scotty B Cards, I don't watch that many of his channels. I do find him very informational, educational. I actually subscribe, or I follow him on Twitter and like his Twitter a lot. Neo Cards and Comics, I watch a fair number of his videos. I didn't even know what his first name was until just recently. It's Rob. So yeah, he does a lot of newsy kind of sports card dad things, but he does more research and he's got more information. I like his style. Sports Card Investor. I do not watch very many of their videos at all. They're not one of my favorites. So let me just be clear about that. But I do think they produce very high quality content. The production value is very, very high. The informational value, not so much. But I don't know. Jeff Wilson oftentimes rubs me the wrong way. But then sometimes he'll put out like the April Fool's video that he did, and I really enjoy it. But I don't watch. Back when I first got back into the hobby in 2020, I probably watched a lot more. Well, I know I watched a lot more of his videos at that time. I might watch 5% of their shorter videos now. Probably not even that much. But there are occasions where I like content that they put out, as long as it's shorter. I'm not going to watch any of their longer stuff. Card Collector 2, again, I don't watch much of his stuff. I pick and choose. He does a lot of football. I'm not into football. But another guy with high production value, really good content when I do watch it. High-end cards, which I'm not into, but I love watching other people get them. He just does some really cool stuff, and I don't watch a very high percentage. It's actually a very, very low percentage of his videos, but I enjoy what I do watch. Breakout cards, when you really want to watch a sports card video, then a sports card show video, Breakout Cards is the way to go. Again, I don't watch a lot of his stuff anymore, but I really like Ryan a lot. Seems like a really nice guy, super smart. We're both into data analytics. That's our career, our real job. And he does high production value sports card show videos. He did one in UK recently. He gets a lot of really unique cards, which I like a lot. And I've got Elite Co in here on my list of entertainers just because I'm not sure that Elite Co is a collector. I really don't know anything about him. I think he's a buyer, grader, reseller. He just does, all I've ever seen him do is PSA grade reveals. And maybe some other companies too, but I just remember the PSA grade reveals. He has an amazing eye for cards. I don't know, there's just something about him. You don't see his face. I know I have before because I've seen Ty Wilson interview him, but yeah, entertaining PSA reveals. And then Bench Clear Media, of course, does a lot of great videos. I don't watch all of them, of course. It's impossible to. But I like a lot of the shows on there. I'm on 2 of them, so I'm a little bit biased. Really good stuff on Bench Clear Media. So now let's talk about collectors. My number 1 collector to watch is Baseball Collector, Mike. He and I have very similar collecting sensibilities, but he and I love Hall of Fame autographs. We're obsessed with the Baseball Hall of Fame. We both love Diamond Kings, Perez Steel. So yeah, very similar ideas of collecting. So then I've got Blue Jacket. None of these are in order. There's no order here. So after Baseball Collector, no order. Blue Jacket 66. Dave, he tells good stories. He has an amazing collection. And his videos tend to be a little bit longer, at least the one I watched yesterday. I don't remember how long the rest of them are. But he tells good stories, so that makes it worthwhile. He's not just talking about the card. He'll tell the story behind the card. He's very smart, very knowledgeable. He comments on my videos with things I got wrong or adds extra details in, and I appreciate that. Things that I didn't find in my research. So awesome stuff from Dave. Then you've got the Mangini collection. John is again, just like Dave, has an insane collection of vintage cards, knows a ton about it. He's passionate about the hobby. So yeah, I enjoy a lot of his stuff. Again, I don't watch all of his stuff. I would say as a percentage, I probably watch more of Blue Jacket 66 because he doesn't put out as much. Splendid Sports Cards, another good one. Adam, awesome guy. I've talked to him a lot. We text occasionally. Just super nice guy. He has an awesome collection, very enviable, different collection than the other guys. His is more, I would say, most post-war. Adam, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So he's got more modern, whereas Blue Jacket and Mangini have a lot of pre-war stuff. Then I'm going to jump right to Double D Vintage because I put him and Splendid Sports Cards together. Dylan, another great collector, has the best room in the sports card YouTube community, probably. Coolest room anyway. I enjoy just seeing his background and all the cards and collectibles around him, and his passion. It's impossible to forget and ignore the passion that Dylan has for the hobby. Oh, great stuff. And when he and Adam get together, it's always fun. Sports Ball, Danny. I just like Danny a lot. He doesn't put out a whole lot, but when he does, I find it interesting. I find it informational. So Sports Ball. Then talking ball cards, I met Paparazzi last year at the National. Great guy. He does some really cool vintage PSA reveals, SGC reveals, and he gets some banger cards. And he's entertaining. I like him a lot. A Collector's Dream, Orlando. Orlando is the nicest guy on YouTube and also maybe has the best collection of YouTubers. And obviously, you've got Blue Jacket 66 and Mangini. I'm gonna interview Orlando and Blue Jacket this summer, hopefully. That's my goal. A Collector's Dream, highly recommend his channel. Lou Rock TV, awesome stuff, and he's funny. He's I also met him at the National last year. Great guy. Enjoy the videos of his that I watch. B Roth 6 doesn't do a ton of videos, but he always has great SGC. I think, does he only do SGC or PSA reveals? Awesome stuff, great cards, and just a super nice guy. That 70s Card Show, John Keating, doesn't do a whole lot of videos anymore. He actually retired his channel, or retired his podcast back in like March or so, but he's put out another couple of videos since then, maybe not part of the series. But John, I find John very funny. He's very smart, great stuff. Sammy Thunder, love his channel. Sammy hasn't been putting out as many videos lately, but he was the first person ever to shout me out. I'll never forget that, when I had like 75 subscribers on YouTube. So Sammy Thunder, great. He does sports card shows, card LCS visits. So check out Sammy. Picker Jim, I've met Picker Jim a couple of times. I met him at the National last year and at the Shriner Show. Great guy, good collection. History Through Cards is Ryan McClanahan, another guy I think very highly of, really smart. He does some cool, like one that I watched recently was the Hobby in 1975, and then he also had a Hobby in 1980. So what it looked like in those days. He's a sports card historian, he's a journalist. Great stuff from Ryan. D-Cons Cardboard, Doug, great guy, does some funny stuff, does some interesting stuff, educational, fun, big fan of Doug. Eddie's Cardboard Chaos, another guy I met at the National last year, passionate collector, funny guy, super nice. Can't say enough good things about Eddie. Brandon Stebbins, a guy I've never talked to or met, but he does autograph, PSA DNA, and Beckett autograph reveals. And there's some pretty awesome attainable cards, things that I look at and say, oh, I should get that, I could get that. So I like Brandon Stebbins' channel a lot. And last but not least, JMac Sports Cards. JMac does a lot of selling videos, which I'm not into because I don't sell much, although I'm going to be starting to pretty soon here because I'm trying to pare down my collection and focus. But JMac is awesome on Instagram. Highly recommend following him. He does a lot of memes. He does funny stuff on Instagram. I enjoy his Instagram a lot. So that's that. Let me know in comments who are your favorites, and I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow with something new. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.